The Economic Report. It's Brian here. Glad to have you here in today's edition of the Economic Report. We are from the studio. We've got a few studios, but today's a special studio. And you'll notice right back here, yeah, we have our now showing sign. But we're talking about retirement, and it's a really important topic to talk about here because Gen X, you've got a little bit of uncertainty out there. And today, my long form video got a couple of comments here, and I want to bring them to your attention. And once again, all they're asking you for is a like and a subscribe. Why? Because it tells YouTube that you like what you hear, and they will continue to push out my content to people just like you who need to hear this message as well. So let's go ahead and take a moment here. And so with it today, we're talking about a person here who had gone ahead and made a comment on one of my YouTube videos, and his video was real, or his comments were really telling, and maybe you can relate. But this person has worked 15 years working as a driver, another 20 years working as a person inside of a factory. And of course, those two together was taking the person right up to about 39 years in the workforce, age 61. And of course, what was one of the big things that they're dealing with? Well, they're dealing with, well, how do I figure out when I'm going to retire? How am I going to retire? Does the government tell me? Do I have to tell the government? That was one of the issues they're dealing with, but it's actually a little bit more difficult than that, because the next thing they were talking about was trying to take care of an elderly person, right? They are a caregiver. So you've got a few different things here going on. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you, it's very real, it's very timely, and there's a ton of people just like you and me that are, well, dealing with similar situations. So I'm sharing this with you because it's a very timely message, and it's worth you checking out and maybe getting a little bit more familiar. I'm going to go ahead and dump the link here into the YouTube stream at the end of this video, so people can check it out. But once again, we're talking about the things about leading up to retirement. And of course, the big message was, hey, age 62 or 65, that was the big question. And of course, here we are really dealing with a very important thing to take into consideration. And 65 seemed like the safe bet for many people. There are those who are saying 62 is a great time to retire as well. And those people are generally people who are going to put those monies to work in the market ASAP, one. Number two, these people tend to also be the people who have some type of a healthcare bridge between age 62 and age 65. So it's another thing to take into consideration. And maybe, just maybe, those two things are working, because number three, they weren't going to start addressing their actual retirement savings whatsoever in their 401k, 403b, etc. What they were doing instead was they had a different bridge plan, because Better Money was saying that if you don't have that healthcare bridge, if you don't have any other types of revenues to live off of, well, the next thing is, well, accessing Social Security early at age 62 for some people seemed like a really bad idea, because obviously you have a few different things here at work that are going to hurt you. Plus, you're starting to draw down your retirement savings, and of course, uh, if you're drawing down retirement savings, we're talking roughly about up to like 27% less money that will have accumulated in that 401k or a 403b plan if they're accessing these retirement savings early. And of course, one thing, I don't know about you, but there's two types of money. There's too much and not enough. The vast majority of the middle class find themselves in a situation where they are most definitely tinkering with the not enough scenario in retirement, right? It's part of the reason why we have this channel here, the Economic Report, for people just like us that are, Generation Xers, not too far away from retiring and really trying to get our ducks in a row. What do we need to do? Well, we want to make sure that we're doing the things necessary to position ourselves for a successful retirement. And all that we're asking you for is a like and a subscribe, in part because what we're doing here is trying to get the message out to people just like us, create a community where we can have intelligent discussions and maybe equally as important, get our questions answered, right? And so today in my long form video, there was a fellow who had really gone into a lot of detail about some of the situations he's dealing with. He obviously was worked a couple different jobs, was right about 39 years of service inside the workforce, age 61. And the thing that he was really struggling with was also being a caregiver to another person inside of his house. So there were a lot of things hitting at the same time. And of course, that could cause a lot of stress to begin with. And of course, what he didn't have in front of him was a clear pathway to hey, what do I do first? What do I do second into my retirement? And wanted to know whether the government actually is the person retiring him or whether or not it's actually him taking some type of action steps, right? And so if you're one of these people who can help him, or number two, maybe equally as important, give him a little bit of guidance. Today's, my response was very simple, two-prong approach. One was getting hold of Social Security at the government account, and of course, really find out what it looks like to retire at 62 for this individual, what it looks like to retire at age 65 for this individual. And so just so we got some kind of a baseline, once again, this is right from the government website, so there's not any type of financial advice per se. But of course, the other part of the equation was, hey, you're taking care of somebody, you're a caregiver. And my other option was to go ahead and check into any type of like options that may be available for this person, because let's face it, it's a county by county program. In many of these cases, local government will be the people who really address caregiver status beyond anything else that maybe, just maybe, Social Security would cover, depending on more information about that person they're taking care of, right? Whether it's a child, whether it's a spouse, whether it's an aging parent, those are very realistic things to take into consideration as well. And so what we're trying to do is just be as thoughtful as possible in the way we were addressing the concerns and putting this out here, because the people who watch this show really do come from all walks of life, predominantly Generation Xers, people just like us, age 45 to 65, that are really in this range where you could be considering retiring here. And of course, we want to make sure that we have a roadmap set ahead of us, because the last thing we want to do is go completely off the rails, make one bad decision after another. So we want people to retire with confidence, and maybe as equally as important, retire with clarity, right? Because there's lots of other things going on here, from weddings to college to home repairs to paying down debt leading into retirement. So these are the little things, and these little things do make a significant difference in ironing out the wrinkles leading into retirement. So my name's Brian here at the Economic Report. If you are liked and subscribed, you will get access to my long form video that comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow, you won't want to miss this. Anybody that has kids in college, has kids that are going to college, or kids that are, well, let's face it, maybe in college and trying to bridge that gap and how to go ahead and pay for this, you won't want to miss that episode. It's for people just like us here, Gen Xers. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Economic Report. Your likes, your subscribes make all the difference in the world. Thank you for joining me. And I want to remind you folks, the biggest battle we're fighting is the battle between our ears over our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude. And thank you for joining me. Let's catch you next episode. I'll be live again on Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day.